I mentioned that in React we have functional and class components. So far, we have worked with functional components. In this lesson, we will create a class component. There are two cases where class components are useful. So first is if you need to access component lifecycle methods. And the second case is if your component has its state. State is a data owned by a component. For instance, a date picker component state could be a date that is currently selected. For users component, state would be user data fetched from a server. I will rewrite a container component as a class. Class container extends component. Component is a base class for React components and it is imported from the React package. Each class component implements render method. This method returns a React element, so its body is pretty much the same as a body of functional components. So let's just copy the body of container and we must remember to return it. Now I can remove the old container component and when I refresh, the app works the same. Class components are needed when a component contains some state. Let's initialize the state of our container component and the place to do it is a component constructor. Constructor props. The first statement in the constructor must be the call to component superclass constructor with props passed up. If you don't do that, props will be undefined inside the constructor, which could lead to errors. Let's initialize the state by assigning a value directly to it. I set a single state property date, which value will be current date. I can access this state inside our render method. So let's display state date. I will use a text component for that. As I want to display a value, I will use curly braces. The current date is displayed. When I refresh the app, you can see that the value changes.